Senator Hume.
Thank you, Mr President. My question is to the Minister for Jobs and Innovation, Senator Cash. I refer to the minister's answer yesterday about providing opportunities for women in STEM. Can the minister update the Senate about how the Turnbull government is encouraging young women and girls into science?
Minister for Jobs and Innovation, Senator Cash.
Well, thank you, Mr President, and I thank Senator Hume for her question. Mr President, it's a fact that women and girls face real challenges in the science sector. This is reflected in the data. So, for example, 16% of university and VET graduates in STEM are women. Much of this gender imbalance, unfortunately, starts at school and it continues through to tertiary study. And many young girls struggle to see themselves in a science-based career. An interesting fact is this. When asked to draw a scientist, 2/3 of children aged 9 to 11 draw a man. Now, Mr President, this needs to change. We need to ensure we have opportunities and not obstacles. We need to ensure that the voices and stories of Australians' absolutely fantastic female scientists are heard and are seen by the next generation. In fact, many of us attended the Science Meets Parliament 19th annual dinner last night in the Great Hall, and I think we can all agree that the scientists, the female scientists there, without a doubt represented the best and the brightest in Australia. As the Cabinet Minister responsible for science, I am making it a priority to tackle the issue of underrepresentation of women and girls in science education and careers. And that's why yesterday I announced the expansion of the Superstars of STEM program. We are going to double the size of those in the program from 30 to 60, and we have guaranteed funding for the next 4 years. But, Mr President, there are other programs that the government's backs to get more women and girls into STEM. The SAGE program, the Science in Australia Gender Equity Project, it is exceeding expectations because it has the support of the sector to ensure that efforts are being made to get more women and girls into STEM.
Senator Hume, supplementary question.
Thank you, Mr President, and I thank the minister for her answer. And I did indeed attend the Science Meets Parliament dinner last night, and it was awe-inspiring to meet so many of Australia's best and brightest. Can the minister please outline the importance of promoting the role of science in the Australian community?
Senator Cash.
Well, thank you, Mr President. Well, the government believes that science and innovation are essential to Australia's future. From basic research through to applied research, science impacts everybody in Australia, and it is incredibly important that we communicate this to the public. The public need to understand the actual everyday impact that science has on them, from fuelling our economy by creating new businesses and new jobs, to ensuring that we're healthy and have the very best quality of life. Science is essential to our future. The government, of course, recognises this, and that's why last year we prioritised science as part of Science Meets Parliament when we launched the Turnbull government's National Science Statement. It's important that we continually find ways to promote the work of scientists and innovators. We need to understand the positive impacts that they've had in the past, they have today, and they will continue to have in the future.
Senator Cash. Senator Hume, a final supplementary question.
Thank you, Mr President. And can the minister please expand how the government's commitment to science is creating jobs and opportunities for Australians?
Senator Cash.
Well, Mr President, we've entered a period of unparalleled rapid economic growth, and science is going to drive business growth. It's going to drive more investment and, of course, more job opportunities. It's estimated that by 2030, Australian workers will spend 77% more time using science and mathematics skills. So we're ensuring as a government that Australians, but in particular women and girls, will be equipped with these skills to gain more and better paid jobs. And our science initiatives are already supporting Australian jobs. One of my first announcements was a $60 million investment in our Great Barrier Reef. We are doing this to ensure the preservation of the reef, because this will secure the 64,000 jobs that are relied on by the reef, but also the $6.4 billion that the reef brings to our economy. We've also helped launch Taipan, a purpose-built instrument for the UK Schmidt telescope. Again, a $6.4 million investment in research infrastructure.